Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. Yes, it's yet another video on dere dere. I guess on this channel, we only either cover luggis or dere dere. What can I say? Those are just really fun aspects of tabla playing. Now, before I get into what we're going to cover today, there's a link in the description to a community I've built on the platform Skool. Now, this has really, in recent months, become something I'm really proud of. The private lessons that I do, and this is really a place for people that want to invest in themselves, be accountable, be surrounded by those that are really looking to improve. But like I was saying, the private lessons I do are both me and another teacher teaching, usually one student. And with just two sets of eyes on one student, we just can look in so much detail, not just sound quality, not just posture, the paltas, just so much attention is being put on that one student that we've really seen remarkable progress. So if that sounds good to you and this is a place that you want to join, click the link in the description and join the Skool community. Now, we're going to be talking about a topic I've alluded to for a few months now. It's about taking your practice to a deeper level. And what I basically mean by that is, as of now, I have my piece of paper where I practice all the bowls every day, 20 minutes a day. And of course, by all the bowls, I mean terekete, dhenegene, the bayan, dhere dhere, all that stuff. I work on it every day. And this has really helped. If you have no structure to your practice at all and you bring some sort of structure like this, it'll really help quite a bit. The next level would be just one bowl for an entire practice session. But I'm going to skip that step and just go to the ultimate step that the masters are doing, which is I want to practice one bowl for an entire month. And before, if I just make that statement, some alarm bells should be going off in your head. For example, how can you just practice one bowl for a whole month? If you have a performance, shouldn't you be practicing terekete, nanaghene, and all this stuff? But what I basically mean is by one bowl a month, imagine you have a solar system and you put, in today's example, dhere dhere, in the center where the sun would be. All the other bowls like dhenegene, terekete revolve around dhere dhere. Dhere dhere is the hero. And everything basically always comes back to that, but you will practice the other bowls as well. This will make more sense as I give you different dhere dhere relas today that'll incorporate all the different bowls. Today we'll be covering clips of Pandit Nikhil Ghosh, Yashwant Vaishnav, and Pandit Anindya Chatterjee. So there's going to be a lot today. So the first clip is going to be with Pandit Nikhil Ghosh. He's a great example of someone that really took his practice really deep. Because in the clip I'm going to show you, I'm pretty sure he's pretty elderly and he still has great command over his dhere dhere. The only way that would be possible is if you really practice deeply. Not this surface level practice that I used to do and many people are still doing, maybe 5 minutes of dhere dhere every day. I'm talking hours, weeks, if not a month at a time. So let's take a look at this clip. It's audio only of Pandit Nikhil Ghosh. Then we'll take a look at the bowls. Now, we're going to look at the bowls to something very similar to what he's playing. It goes like this. So this is in Tisra. It'll go like this. Dha tere kit tak dhere 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 kit tak tere kit dha tere kit tak tere kit dhene gene tak tak tene kene. So, like this. bit faster. Now, if you notice, I switch between the 2-finger terekete and the full hand. The point of this video is that you cover different bowls while practicing dere dere. So either works. We're not trying to stick to the tradition, we're trying to get the best practice in. So either or both are fine for this. And the denegene is the main focus. Dere dere and denegene together. So it's very rare you get dere dere and denegene together. That's why I'm a big fan of this particular rela. Now, one thing I will say is there's a version with gere dere that you can put 2 denegenes in it. I'm not going to give it to you because really I want you kind of to explore it and find it on your own. It's much more meaningful. And that's not really doable if you're just practicing for 5-6 minutes a day, this rela. You really got to go deep into it for hours. Then you'll figure out ways to integrate gere dere, multiple denegenes, and all sorts of different stuff. So whatever I give you today in this video, really go into it deeply and you'll come up with a lot of variations. One thing I forgot to mention is this deep practice that goes for, let's say, a month on one bowl. That's really how new compositions and new relas are found. You go so deep into dere dere, you exhaust your mind of all the different potentials, and thus you created something completely new. And think about if we all did this, how we could make tabla, we could really just bring tabla forward. You know, we'd have, everyone would be playing their own things, their own combinations, and it would just almost be kind of like a renaissance versus the short practice that a lot of us are currently doing. Now let's take a look at a clip of Yashwant playing dere dere with a bit of a difficult baya coordination or baya section in it, you can call it. Let's take a look. Now, I want to talk briefly about Yashwant for a minute. Of course, he plays a lot of different dere dere relas. When I was trying to find the particular clip of this one, I realized that he's practically playing all of them. How is he doing that? He's going very deep in his practice, which is kind of the theme of this video. And another thing I've seen about him, one time in Austin, which is a city a few hours from here if you're not familiar with Texas, he was the last performer to play. And the vibe of this performance was just kind of off. No one was really at their best. The audio was weird, you know, but he came in, and because he's gone so deep in his practice, he just played and it felt like a bulldozer. He just came in, played everything fast with weight like he always does. But I think because he's gone so deep in his practice that he just has command over things. And really, once you start playing a certain bowl for a month, that's what happens. You can really rely on your playing. You can really trust it. It doesn't matter the vibe. It doesn't matter how you're feeling emotionally. When you're practicing properly, you've just accounted for all of that, and it's just going to be very consistent. So that's what I noticed about him. Now let's take a look at what the bowls are. धा तेरे किट तक धेरे धेरे किट तक घिट तक धेरे धेरे किट तक धा तेरे किट तक धेरे धेरे किट तक धा तिट घेरे नग तुन्ना केरे नाक. So it goes like this. So a bit faster. So don't take any shortcuts on the baya and this one. Make sure even when you're playing it fast, you're still getting a really good, you know, with a little bit of some sort of flavor on the baya, not just, you know, something to really highlight how unique this rela is. In most dere dere relas, it's filled with derekites, but in this one, it takes a short break from that and just has beautiful bias strokes. So make sure you practice that. So with this in your dere dere practice, you'll be working on your baya. So let's say you're working on dere dere for a month and you have a performance coming. You won't have to worry about, hey, is my baya going to be really weak because I've just been focusing on dere dere. You've got it covered with this particular rela. Now let's take a look at the next one, which I believe is Pandit Nindo Chatterjee. And this is a dere dere rela with so many bowls in it. I really think the only way that this could have been discovered is by someone practicing dere dere really deeply. And they just thought of incorporating a lot of different bowls in it. Nana gene, gere naga, dhenetaga, all of them are in this one. Let's take a look. So yeah, this was one of the dere I was just spellbound by. So I thought it was so intricate, but it really makes sense how. And Pandit Nindo Chatterjee is another tabla player that he just plays so many different things because he's taken his practice so deeply. I know I sound like a broken record talking about that again and again, but that's really what I'm trying to tell all of you to do. Take your practice deeper, and you'll just have so much trust in your playing. You'll be able to just really calmly trust in your playing, and that should be the thing. Sometimes, and this happens to me too, let's say I'm playing a luggi on stage, maybe with dere dere, there's one particular one. I don't know if it's going to come because I've only practiced dere dere 20 minutes at a time. Once you go deeper into it, you just don't have that issue at all. Let's take a look now at what the bowls are for this. So it goes like this. Dha tere kit ghere dhere dhere kit tak dha tere kit tak tak dhin tere kit tik dhin nana ginne dha tet ghere nag dhin tak dha tet kere nak tin tak. So like this. One more time. I may have messed up something there. One more time. A bit faster. So just a fantastic rela to play. It'll cover so much of the bowls. It'll have nanagene in it, some terikite or gerenaga in it. So I highly recommend working on this one. Now let's take a look at one where you kind of get tete and dere together. So let's take a look at Yashwant play this. So we're going to cover something very similar to what he's playing. Dhatete dhinag, sorry, one more time. Dhatete dhintag kata katak dhete katak dhatete dhinag dhin dere dere kitataka tere kitataka. Now, I do see one error here. I say dhinaga dhin here, but na and ta are basically the same thing in this. So it'll go like this. A bit faster. Now you can do dha tete, 2-finger tete, or depending on what you want to work on. I recommend practicing it both ways. Again, we're not trying to stay with the certain tradition, which could be the reverse tete. We're trying to get all the different bowls in our practice. So these are different ways that you can incorporate all the different bowls in your practice. Now, here's one rela that I basically made up that will get your full hand derekete involved. And this is kind of like what I want you guys to take away from this video. Make up your own combination of bowls and incorporate them in your practice. Nothing will really do you more benefit than bowls that you come up with on your own. So let's take a look at that. So ghere dhere, we didn't really cover any ghere dhere, and I love ghere dhere. So dha tere kitte ghere dhere dhere kitte tak, dha tere kitte tak, dhin tere kitte tak, dha tere kitte tak, tere kitte, dha tere kitte tak, tere kitte, na tere kitte tak. So like this. So on some dereketes, I'm filling it in with the ga. So one more time, like this. A bit faster, one more time. So there you have it. This could be a dhere practice that you go really deep into. I know a month can sound intimidating, and maybe it's best to, do it in baby steps, maybe a week. But I feel that just doing it a day at a time, I like to skip a few steps. I like taking quantum leaps. So why not? Why not do one bowl for an entire week? Maybe then you can get up to doing it for a month. And like this is the new approach that I'll be taking to even denegene, working on the baya, 2-finger tete, full hand tete. All of these should we really need to get to a point where we go deep into our practice. What will happen is we'll all come up with new things that we really like to play that really suits our hand. And I could see it as even almost a renaissance in tabla, where everyone is playing things they like. People are coming up with things. If you've noticed, we all play stuff from masters that were composed 50, 80, 100 years ago, because that's what they were doing. There wasn't any Netflix or Hulu that they were trying to watch. They weren't just practicing their 15 minutes of dere dere and then going on their phone. They went really deep, and that's how they came up with so many different things. So I want really that to be what you take away from this video. Thank you.